Sword on, we rigid.
You must go and fight Scorpina and her rockstar monster at the beach club.
It's morphin' time.
Welcome to On Our Shelf. Today what I have is a full review of the Samsung Gear 2 smartwatch. So just in case you missed our unboxing video earlier, here it is again in about 10 seconds. And basically what you get in the box is a black wall charger, a black charging cradle, some manuals, and the Samsung Gear 2 smartwatch itself, as you can see right here. So let's start the review. So starting with the design of the watch, and as you can see overall it looks really good, very stylish. So on the front, we have the home button right here. On top, we have a 2 megapixel autofocus camera along with an IR blaster. On the left and right of the watch, we have a little indentation for the charging cradle to snap right on. We have one speaker right here. Here's our microphone. On the back, we have our charging connectors. And right below that, we have our heart rate monitor sensor, which lights up green when in use. We have this metal clasp, which is adjustable, so this watch shouldn't have any problems fitting on your size wrist. And the black band that the clasp is attached to is interchangeable, so you can buy aftermarket bands if you'd like. Also, you can buy the watch itself in 3 different colors: charcoal black, gold brown, and wild orange. So this is the watch's 1.63-inch Super AMOLED display, which looks great. And this is the watch's main menu, which can be customized. So far we have our date and time. Starting from the left, on the bottom we have our camera, pedometer, and settings icon. When we swipe to the left, we have our notifications, call logs, our dialer, and our contacts icon. Next we have our apps, camera, setting, and music player icons. Here we have our remote, S-Voice, Find My Device, and voice memo. Next, we have our pedometer, exercise, heart rate, and controls. So as you can see, the interface is very simple and easy to use, and it's a pretty fast learning curve. Now let's go into some of these apps with a little bit more depth, and we'll start off with the camera. So as I said earlier, it's a 2 megapixel camera that records up to 720p video. And I'm not sure how useful a camera will be on a smartwatch, but here's a look at some of the picture and video quality shot from the camera. So as you can see, photos are decent, definitely usable. Videos are very iffy, not so much in my opinion. And if you're shooting a video clip, you can only record up to 15 seconds at a time. And you can change the photo size, by the way, so that they're not all square shots. Also, the gallery icon on your smartwatch allows you to browse through your pictures and videos that you just took and play those back as well. And you can also pinch to zoom in on the image and zoom out. And if you'd like, all these photos and videos can transfer directly to your smartphone or a tablet device to give you a better viewing experience. As far as fitness goes, because as you know, Samsung's really into that, we have a pedometer app that keeps track of how many steps you've taken, calories you burned, and how far you traveled, along with 4 other exercise apps including running, walking, cycling, and hiking. It keeps track of those things as well. And all of these things sync up to your S Health app to help you keep better track of your results. And we can't forget about the heart rate monitor, which has to be positioned just right to make it work, but you do have this on the smartwatch as well. As far as notifications go, and I'm referring to emails and text messages, you can receive full text messages, full emails, not multimedia text messages, not multimedia emails, but just the text itself, and you can reply to them with either custom templates or you can create your own custom message to respond to them. And if you just so happen to want to read the email on a smartphone or a tablet device, simply using the Smart Relay feature, you can transfer it and open it up on that device as well. You can also make and receive phone calls on the Samsung Gear 2, and audio quality is not bad at all. No one complained about how I sounded talking to them through the smartwatch. In fact, no one even knew I was on the smartwatch. And I didn't have any problems hearing them through the built-in speakerphone on the smartwatch as well. And if you're wondering how loud the speakerphone volume is, here's a demo. This is just a test. I am testing the Samsung Gear 2 to see how loud it is and how clear the voice playback is. This is just a test. I am testing the Samsung Gear 2 to see how loud it is and how clear the voice playback is. You have your media controller app, which can be used to control your music. This really can come in handy when you're at the gym. You also have S-Voice, which is a little bit more limited on the smartwatch than it is on the smartphone, and for some reason it just never really worked for me. What's the weather like today? It would literally do that all day long, just say processing. But this problem was kind of unique to me. Others didn't experience this problem as much as I did. The built-in IR blaster is another neat feature, so you can control your TV from your watch. It's also IP67 certified, which means it's dust and water resistant up to 3 feet of water. You have Find My Device, which gives off a loud tone and works both ways to help find your lost smartwatch or a lost smartphone. Now, as far as the battery life goes, it has a 300 milliamp battery, and that gave me right around 3 to 4 days of use consistently each week, and that was with me just using the watch pretty much as a watch. Very minimum picture and video taking. So those are just some of the main features on the Samsung Gear 2 smartwatch. This watch has a lot more cool features as well, but let's get into some of the pros and cons of this smartwatch. And I'll start with what I don't like about the smartwatch first. The first thing being, it's only compatible with Samsung devices, but not all Samsung devices. Also, the screen tends to wake up a lot when I don't want it to. The way this watch is supposed to work is normally the screen is completely off, but when you turn the watch face towards you or lift it up, that's when the screen comes on. Well, a lot of movements trigger this watch to come on when I don't want it to. For example, if you're watching a movie at night and the lights are dim, or if you're just in a movie theater in general, and that can be kind of annoying, and it also drains the battery life. And the last thing is the $100 price increase over the Gear 2 Neo. Believe it or not, these are the exact same watches with the exact same specs. The only thing different is this has a metal body, and also it has a camera. And trust me, you're not going to use the camera too often at all, especially if you have your smartphone in your pocket with you. Now for the pros as to what I actually like about the smartwatch. And I'll start off by saying, once again, it's IP67 certified, which means it's dust and water resistant, which really comes in handy for a smartwatch slash fitness band, which is what this thing is. And speaking of fitness band, activity tracker, whatever you want to call this thing, that's another feature I like about this smartwatch. The fact that it has those capabilities, even though they're not the most accurate, just having them on here helps keep you motivated, makes you want to work out and do more. Also, the overall design of the watch and the fit and finish as well. This is a great looking smartwatch, and it's definitely an attention getter, and it just looks really, really good. And if anyone sees you using this, they're gonna ask you about it. So be prepared to explain what it does, how much it costs, where to get it from, and etc, 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 because you can't get away from those kind of questions when someone sees you using this watch. Also, performance and features. This watch has tons of features. We only touched on half of them here in this review. And if you want even more features for this particular watch, you can download apps as well. And while using the features on this watch, everything was pretty snappy and pretty fast. This watch does have a 1 GHz dual core processor with 512 megabytes of RAM. And although it's not running Android software, instead running Tizen, didn't seem to have any issues at all. So in conclusion, it's a decent improvement over last year's model. I don't find it a necessity, something you have to have, like you have to have a cell phone, but it is something I always wanted. And me personally, I would just save $100 and get the Gear 2 Neo, because I never used the camera, and the metal body does look better, but I can do without it. And at the end of the day, it gives all of us a childhood fantasy that we always wanted to live out, and that is own one of these things. So that has been a review of the Samsung Gear 2 smartwatch. Take care, I'll see you guys in our next video, and thanks for watching.